'cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, we are live. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Welcome, Charlie's London. How are you, dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I'm just trying to manage this campaign and just kind of just do my thing and just trying to have a little fun and plan streams and getting invited to a few places and try to set up all this. So that is I was very I mean, I just saw we passed over oh, okay, I see. Oh, that's Chow Roberts. Okay. What's that? Comics du Nord. Yes. Hello on the Periscope. Yeah, I was singing. Yes, I was singing, and but I just yeah, everything. You just the last few days, it's been going okay. I the people have come and they started supporting the new campaign. I haven't really went into marketing mode yet. That's why I was like, uh, wanting to get some more pages from Kane in and do some things like that, and just trying. I don't know. I'm trying to be more low key with it. Just I feel like if people want to support, they will, and at least we've gotten enough funded to go. The big thing is to go into store mode because I talked to Ethan the other day, and he's gonna fit me into his cover schedule. He's drawing so much cool stuff right now. He's got like 3 or 4 covers he's got to draw. I know he said something about a red Sonya, and so he's got some really cool stuff that I know is gonna be awesome. But he's got our outline as well. Because I know when his cover is already my biggest seller. It's like right there at the top. So most people have bought the Ethan covers. So, but I know when he does the final art on it, people will go nuts because Kanan. I just. Oh no. Here we go. Let me see. Slick Rick. Antonio's almost raised it. Oh God. Oh God. God bless Critias. Oh God, that was horrible. And
it was. It was sad.
I was a little. Here's the thing: a lot of people act like Critias wasn't a big part of this community. First started seeing Critias, he was popping up in like the diversity in comics chats and different. He was in the war campaign stream. He was everywhere. Like there was Comicsgate streams. Critias would pop up in there, and he would just be mentioning. He would be mentioning, "Hey, I've got this book, Detective Dead." And he would just be mentioning it, but I didn't know what the hell it was. It almost reminded me, the only person I think that has kind of promoted on that same level are the Zaid brothers, where there was just they kept saying Magic Cop, Magic Cop, Magic Cop. So I kept hearing Magic Cop, and I had I'd never I didn't know what it was, and it was comic, and so. I kept hearing Magic Cop, but Critias would do that. He was the beginning of that. He would be in all the chats. He'd be like, "Hey, I've got this book, Detective Dead. Hey, I got this book," and he was doing that same thing. So it was getting around that there is a book called Detective Dead, and I know when I talked to him privately, some of the stuff that he said was, one of the reasons why he made the book was supposed to be like 104 pages, and that's still a big book. I just, oh my God. That's a big, 104 page. And then he made so many mistakes. So like in one place he had that the book was 104 pages, and then he updated and he put like 132 in another place. And then he realized it was a mistake. Now, what I don't think he realized is even if someone bought, you can take that tier down or whatever and I would contact that backer and be like, "Look, I made a mistake. The book's not going to be 132 pages. It's only going to be 104. Yeah. Is that cool, or do you need me to refund your money? I would at least have that, because I had a couple of situations pop up with the campaign where I had to contact a backer and say, look, I can give you the money back, or this is what and they were like, oh no, keep the money. This is what it is. And they were real cool about that. But I think when you do these campaigns, you really have to focus on communication. You need to let people know what's going on, if there's a problem. And I was just like, oh Lord, it seemed like it got out of hand. And I know going back like 6-7 months last year, I started hearing, he was having some problem. He wasn't working things. And I was, and he was having, he didn't even have a phone, because that's what a lot of people was like, oh, he's lying about not having a phone. He didn't have a phone. He was really not having a phone. He was like having to use other stuff. I mean, it was crazy. He was having some serious financial problems. And so I'm sitting there going, okay. And I had already backed him at that point. And I was like, okay, he got financial problems. He not working. That money is going to be going into that. You know what I'm saying? I know he's gonna need to, supplement his income, as they will, and that's definitely not what we need to do. That's why I'm always like, Kanan showing, if Kanan draws something, I try to make sure that I'm showing that he's working. I want to let people know what he's working on. There's so many people in the chat. Hold on. I'm not ignoring y'all. Let me go back up here and start getting so many further. I was like, damn, I wasn't expecting so many people to show up. Let me see. The real what is it? The real South Ja? I thought it was the real soldier, but it's the real South Ja 1. All right. Any plans for an animated series of webisodes? I'm interested in doing voiceover. Me? No. Although it would be really cool. Joseph King, that's got Slaughter Squad on Indiegogo. He really is good at animation. I mean, obviously, he worked on like Rick and Morty and a couple other cartoons, so he's pretty good at that. I wonder what he could do. Let's see. Let me see. Good job. You have bigger balls than I do. I wouldn't dare sing, let alone. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, it is. It's mostly it's mostly my nerves, and that's kind of, one of the things that I've learned the more I do this is just do whatever, so that so I can kind of shake through that and then just get the show started and just kind of keep running my mouth and try to keep the conversation going.
Yeah,
let's see.
I get that.
Slick Rick, next stretch goal, more font. Yeah, well, no, that there will not be a font stretch goal on Way of the Gun. I just did that. Let's see. Mo Biggs. Brand could be 7 figures with proper soundtrack. There's not a brand soundtrack. Although, what was it back in 2018? I can't remember the guy's name. He actually did a Dark Santana theme song. I think you can find it on YouTube. He did an actual Dark Santana song. And let me see here. All right. A Brown CBR. Did Critics spend any of the campaign money on super chatting other YouTube? Now I've heard this.
Yeah, me too, actually. I've heard that.
This is going around, but this didn't come from Critics. That he spent his money, super chatting in, like, say, Mike S. Miller's stream, Ethan's stream, Malin's stream, all those big channels where, there's a big audience, and it's like, oh, let me super chat Detective Dead. And he was a super chatter. That was one of those things. I can't say that, because he's been pretty transparent with me about where he fucked off the money as far as like paying artists and not getting art back and stuff like that. He hasn't said, yeah, I was spending a lot of super chats, but anybody that was following the chats at that time knows Critics was spending a lot of money on super chats. Those are facts. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. But I don't want to put that on him, but I've noticed in the chats, but he didn't help himself. He actually wanted to come back on and talk some more. I told him I feel like we need to let that breathe a little bit. I don't think any good can come from it at this point. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a lot of super chats and people were throwing money at me to yell at Critics. I mean, we was doing that, but it wasn't about that for me. So that was
the bit that cut me when I was watching it was like there's so many of you guys I massively look up to, and I've been reading Ethan's stuff with DC since I was a teenager. So when Ethan wouldn't come on when he was there, if that was me and I was in his position, that would have cut me like a knife, that someone I looked up to wouldn't even share a stream with me. He was that disappointed. And you got the feeling he wasn't only angry, he was disappointed. And I think this is the problem for new creators coming up, is a lot of the big guns, for example, they're now being very skeptical of who they promote, and rightly so, because it's their reputation and they feel personally responsible for Comicsgate, and you can't blame them for that. And it's very sad that these situations have come up, really.
Well, let me get this, because this is interesting, because Samir Rizvi, did CG Pros warn him about the pages because Ethan reduced page 2? Well, here's the thing. I heard Art did his stream earlier for like 2 hours or whatever, and he mentioned at the very beginning of the stream that he knew, as he started hearing more about how many pages and stuff is, that he thought it was, was going to be bad, and it wasn't going to, you know what I'm saying? He said, so he may have thought that, but it doesn't sound like he said anything to Critias or offered him any advice or any of that. I don't know. Everybody in the private chat is pretty friendly with each other. We all seem to we retweet each other and try to support each other and stuff like that. But yeah, he, that kind of I have to be honest, when I saw how big the book was, it was a few times I talked to Chris. I was like, dude, because I knew how much money I was spending on brand. I'm telling you, right here is over $40,000. And that's before I paid the printer.
Wow.
Once you start adding the printer and the shipping materials and stuff, you add about another 10 on that. So I'm telling you, and now you're talking 132 full color pages. You got pencils, inks, because fortunately, because Kanan works digitally, I didn't have to pay an inker. That would have been, I didn't have to pay, because Kanan's page rate alone was, was decent, and I just, the whole thing, man. Obviously, I didn't know Critias. I was in the private room, and then I remember when I think Ethan met Critias on Mike's live stream. If I remember that, if I'm not, I think that's correct. He told me that Mike had invited him on, and Ethan was on, and they talked. And then Ethan, invited him into our private chat, and they started promoting Detective Dead and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know Critias well enough to be sitting down with him going, look, man, I know how much I'm spending. How are you going to pay for this? I didn't know him that well. I mean, we started getting to know each other over time, and now it's been over about a year and a half now, and I'm he's a good guy, but I've told him a few times, I was like, boy, you really fucked that one off. I mean, you really screwed the pooch here, bro. And I wish he would stop saying, I'm going to refund everybody and fulfill the book, because that sounds insane to me. Unless, I told him, I said, unless you're about to hit the lottery, I don't see that happening, because you still have, I think he says he has 41 pages of the 132. So those all have to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? They have to be paid for, and then they have to be penciled, and then you have to have the inker, and then they have to be colored, and then they have to be lettered. Hopefully he's got an editor, because people send me stuff and I catch little typos and stuff like that. And I mean, that's a good thing about having an editor. But it was too much. So
what I don't understand is nobody knows the story to the end, right? So if he's got 41 pages, he could produce another 7, make it 48, round the story up, still get the book out, surely. Like that, if I was in a situation where I had this was what was going on, that's what I would do. I'd go back to the drawing board, I'd re-edit the story, I'd see bits I could cut out, maybe ways I could change the ending, maybe create a cliffhanger, so if people were interested, there'd be another book. and then go
Honest
with
question
that.
though, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta ask because I've had a couple people suggest, oh, make it 30 pages, make it this. Real talk. He advertised 132 pages. Even if he ships you a 48-page book, when he comes back and advertises for the next book, are you backing based on
No,
what happened on the? That's what I'm saying. So he has a bunch of stories that he sent me. He sent me like 3 scripts. And I mean, he's a good writer. He has some talent, I hate this for him, but I told him, I said, dude, your name got mud all over it, bro. And it's just not good. So
no, I was just thinking of ways around it that I would, if it was me. And the thing is, I'm hoping to never get myself in this situation. I mean, I think I commented on your video yesterday. I commented that I literally watched your video with a notebook and pen, and I was like writing down things that were good ideas, things I wouldn't be doing, because fingers crossed, this time next year I'll be classed as a Comicsgate creator. I've got some, so there's things I want to be, there's things I'm doing, and I want to make sure that I do it properly, and I lead by the examples of the likes of you and the likes of Ethan and your boy Zach and Malin, and do these things properly, do them the way the customers want. Don't do them half-cocked and then hope you're going to, chasing your ass with campaigns after campaigns and stretch goals after stretch goals just because you're trying to fund the first one. It doesn't work. It's obvious it doesn't work. So...
this is a good point from Matthew Griffin here. It's like his totals didn't include taxes. He technically evaded taxes on the money he used for personal expense. I had a nice tax bill on it was several $1,000s. So that is I don't, like I said, I don't know how he spent that, or the whole thing is bad. I remember when he shut it down, he was struggling. It hit a point where he was just struggling to raise any capital. It just I know when I've gone on Ethan, he's talked about this, sometimes he'll have a creator on and looks like the project's okay, and he's trying to, hey, check out Zombie Fest, and it just sits there, and he'll refresh the page and nobody's buying it. It was like nobody's buying it. It's like, oh boy. It's that kind of thing. So I was fortunate when he started having me on to promote brand that it would at least, we pick up, but I've been on his stream and done like $900,000 in sales just like that, and I was just like, whoo. And then I streamed with Critias a few times on Ethan's channel, and he might sell a book, and it's kind of weird if I sell 400 or 500 books and he sell $1 worth of books, and he sells like $125 book. He sells it. It's just, but he always kept a positive attitude. But I know once we started talking more and I got to know him, I started hearing some things about his family and some of the financial problems he was having. And I was like, oh God, that's bad, because you're admitting that you have financial problems.
Yeah.
But, so this money is different. But yeah, let me see. Hold on. Apparently, 40K. Daniel C. Yes. $40,000 I have invested putting a brand together. 40,000. You got 52 pages of 52 pages colored. I remember when I started looking at my budget, I was like, okay, and I had to have letters on 50. Then I had the covers, and then I had to pay all that kind of stuff. It does, and then I had to pay my print person and all that. It wasn't it wasn't oh, I got a lot of money now, and that's why I try to be transparent, especially on Twitter. I try to show Kanan will give me a new page, and I try to show at least sometimes it might have a spoiler, so we'll clip out things or whatever, but I'll at least show people panel work and let them see what the money is actually doing. Because while I'm doing that, you have people that they're either they're not backers, or they were former Comicsgaters that are not happy with Comicsgate now. And then they're like, where's the book, Antonio?
Yeah.
You're not doing the book, and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm on this page or whatever, try to answer. Some of those people, though, they, like I said, they're not even backers. They were just concerned trolling. So it's kind of, it's just not a good look. You need to, I just wish he would, have, once I started talking to him, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is going to be a clusterfuck. And then I remember when we streamed yesterday, it mentioned the radio advertising and people thought, oh, that's a lie. He sent me I have the link from, he sent me the link like about 6-7 months ago. He said, hey, I found this new service and they advertise on the radio. And I go, okay. And I said, let me know how that works. I was doing Instagram ads. I tried Twitter ads because that was one thing that came up yesterday. We were talking about advertising. And I was like, yeah, you should definitely. You're trying to get sales. Why wouldn't you advertise? That'd be crazy. Okay, I'm gonna open a new business up, but I'm not gonna advertise it. But you have to be smart with the money. And one thing I knew, I was watching, I was like, okay, he's going to do this radio thing. Let me see how that works. Hopefully, the radio advertising, the radio advertising will work. Well, the radio advertising, he showed me the page. It was some dude. And here's a big thing that I noticed. And he can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the guy had a sports podcast. He was getting great numbers on it, but it was like a sports. So like, okay, if you're going to advertise, at least advertise on something that like video games, I think has a good crossover. But the dude had like a sports radio. It was like, I think he was doing a sports betting. I'd have to go through my DMs with Crit, but I'm pretty sure the dude was he had like an internet radio show, which like I said, he was getting like 100,000 streams or whatever. He was getting, at least that's what he was claiming for the price. And I think Crit is, spent some money with him. But it's sports betting. Sports and comics don't really cross over the same. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I know there are people that like, say, football or basketball or hockey or whatever, and they read comics. But it's when I saw the dude was like a sports podcaster or whatever, I was like, I don't know if I'll be giving that dude all my money like that because they played his ad, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? And the sales didn't
work. Yeah. It didn't work.
He bought a couple. He got let me see.
It's funny you say that actually, because I don't know if you guys got it in the States, but Cristiano Ronaldo actually brought out a comic book about a year ago, and I don't believe it did very well. Same reason. Why would you want to read a soccer star's comic book?
Let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, Hell Caesar Caligula. Antonio, Mike has Miller promoted you today on his live stream. I'm not sure what that means because I haven't spoken to Mike since December of last year. That's a fact. But I'm not against. Here's the thing. I'm not against Mike. Mike and I obviously don't agree on Comicsgate. But I mean, Mike, I'd rather let Mike do his thing over there, and I'm gonna do my thing over here. I'm still in Comicsgate. So until that changes, like I said, I haven't spoken to Mike. I don't know. I didn't know what he does, and I'm not even subscribed to his channel or anything. So apparently, am I guilty of something because he said, "Hey, back Brad, again, Mike, I've been very upfront. The first person that ever put me on their channel was who? Mike S. Miller. First time Brand was actually shown on Ethan's channel. Mike was on the stream with Ethan, and Dave T had sent out this tweet. He was trying to help me, and he tweeted out to like Captain Cummings. He tweeted out to Edwin, and Umbrella Guy and Ethan and all this. And Mike happened to look on his phone, and he saw the campaign. He was like, "Hey, Ethan, I want to show this." Ethan was about to get off the air. They've been streaming for like 4 or 5 hours, and he's about to get off the air. And Mike showed Brand on the air. It was on Kickstarter. So I just I don't know. Like I said, even though he left, I feel like let Mike do Mike, and I'm gonna do me. So that's what it is. I'm like, oh yeah, Mike. I'm not doing that. I'm just so it is what it is. So
yeah.
So I don't know if that's is it a guilt by association? Am I guilty because he said something or said someone should buy my book? I don't know, because if we doing that shit, then that's bullshit. But let me man, there's so many of y'all. Let me get this. Man and Lunacy, you were extremely upfront. The delays this first round CG books were disappointing, but I will remember who was straight up, you and Uncle E, and the people who were not. Well, here's the thing. Here's why I messed up. I didn't mess up on the money. Whew, thank God. I didn't mess up on the money. But here's my thing. I thought I did not understand how long it takes to draft comic book pages. And artists like Kanan, sometimes he can do 2 or 3 pages a week. You know what I'm saying? That's realistic.
Mm.
He's not doing a page a day. Ethan's not doing a page a day by his own admission. John Malin doesn't do a page a day by his own admission. So what I did is I said Kanan was going to draw 60 pages of art, or 52 or 48 pages at the time before we bumped up the extra 4. I said he was going to do 48 pages of art in 60 days. And he didn't even get to start on it until the beginning of the year because he was under contract to another company, and then they added pages, and then that pushed my stuff back even further. So it kind of, the whole thing was a big clusterfuck. But now when he turned in that last page in October, I had given him money so we could start right now. I was like, get started now. So we're 13 pages in. I've got layouts for I think about 4 more pages, and he's going to do more. That's the thing, I'm glad that we were able to get a head start on this one, because what the plan is to have him finish it up, and then I guess we'll swing right on over to Fearsome. I'm supposed to meet him and Ethan are supposed to have a meeting and kind of talk about what we're going to do on there. So I don't know, but yes, Ryan Miller Art, there was no conversion as far as that. That's what I'm going all over the place, but yeah, I wanted to finish the radio thing. Yeah, the radio it was shit. He didn't get nothing, and he had given him, I think it was $500 the first time.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's $500 he had to pay him. He paid him like $500 to advertise. He didn't get anything, and because I told him, I said, hey, let me know if this works. If it works, I'm willing to try it. Because like you said, I was running Instagram ads and stuff, and it was on Facebook and all that. So, it didn't work. It didn't work. And I said, Critics, what's going on? He said, no. He said, I don't think I'll be advertising with them anymore. It didn't work. And I was like, thank God I didn't do that. Because I looked at it. He sent me the website. I think it was on Fiverr. I might be wrong about that. But like I said, I had to look at my DMs. He sent me the direct link. I saw where I could advertise, and they had a variety of different podcast stream, internet radio things to advertise on. It just I don't know. Either way, it was horrible. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Matthew Griffin. Actually, critics did say he was unemployed, so if 8K was all he uses, then that's probably not enough to meet the tax threshold. I mean, one thing I know when I filed mine, make sure I had all my receipts and all that kind of stuff, and I could write off. Yeah. But yeah.
I can't get my head around where the money's gone. I mean, it's like Ethan said on the stream with you yesterday, you keep the money in a bank, you keep your receipts, you do all of this stuff. And many comics have fulfilled for less than that, and they've gone out to their backers, and that's been it. It's a good comic done. So I just can't get my head. Do you know, I was talking to my mum about this day. My mum used to be a bank manager. I was talking to her about it, and she cannot for the life of her work out as well where this would have gone. So if you've got someone there that financially knows what they're talking about and she can't work it out, God knows. Do you know what I mean?
Let's see. But I just, I don't know. The whole thing is bad because, like I said, I'm a backer. I back for like $50. Yes. Let me see. Hold on. Ken Jack Beer. If you can do a page day, why not do it? What are the reasons some artists may choose not to do a page? I can honestly say, just dealing with Kanan, he'll show me here's what it'll be like a half drawn page with like blue line on it. Digitally though, because he's working on his tablet. But it's just the thing, and I was trying to talk. I was like, well, you don't have to put out. I was like, that wall there don't have to have that little crack, you know. He puts these little extra. Anyone that saw the digital copy that we sent out, they know the amount of detail Kanan put into all those pages. And it's just, it was too much. Oh, let me get Eddie Winkler. Boom. Eddie Winkler, $2. Hey, Antonio, do you have an LLC? Or I have an LLC. Card Press LLC is registered in the state of Tennessee. And but it just, it was too much. But it just sounded like he didn't quite have a plan. It was, and the thing from the 104 to jumping up to the 132 and then not banging the whole thing. It just wasn't, it didn't sound like, just based on what I've heard about the page rates and then having he's averaging, sounds like over 200 per page just to have it penciled and inked. So over 200 page pencils and inks. And then that's before the colors and the font go on to the pages. So, and then that's, and then you got to put your files together and get your cover and all that. There's a lot of work to be done in these books. And here's the thing though. I saw the guy was like, well, I've done 300 pages and of comic book art. And I'm like, okay, are you drawing the book yourself? Are you a more detailed style artist or are you kind of more of a free artist? Because people send me, they be in my DMs sending me books all day long. And some of them, I got to be honest, they look like they need to cook a little bit longer. If, just being honest, the art's not there. They need a better colorist. They lettered the book themselves and the letters look awful. There's all kind of, I was like, oh, this is one thing you can count on when you get brand. Everybody on the team that worked on this book, they all have done comics professionally outside of myself. My colorist, DC, Image, Xenoscope, Boom, all the big, you know what I'm saying? Work multiple titles. My letterer, Marvel, DC, Boom, Image, Boom. He's done, and I'm talking about like 30 years in the business.
Yeah.
Kanan's got like 13, 14 years in the business. And that's why I'm like, everybody was pros on the book except for me. So that's a lot of times, like if you're the DIY guy and you're drawing the book yourself, and I see people that's like, I'm coloring, I'm lettering, I'm drawing the book myself. You know what I'm saying? They're doing everything. And sometimes it looks like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. It is what it. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Anonymous bot. Seriously, I missed the intro. Who is Charlie? Charlie, tell them who you are.
Who am I? I've been part of sort of the CG family for about 18 months now. I'm really active on Twitter. My name, Charlie's London, comes from the fact that I do a hell of a lot of stuff to do with Charlie Chaplin, and mostly with him and how his films were influenced by his life being born in London, and he was born where I was born. So it's kind of evolved from that. So my Twitter originally started off as me doing all of that, and then my fiance got me very, very into Comicsgate, and I realised that there's quite a lot of parallels between Chaplin's life and Comicsgate, and I thought, oh, you know what, this is definitely something that I'm interested in and something that works. So yeah, so that's me really.
All right, so let me see. Okay, Baron Von Taco Case here, because I do all my comics by myself. Okay. I don't know, what kind of comics do you do? Do you do, because I see some people and they'll show, look at this, and it's more cartoony. You know what I'm saying? It's like more like a cartoon strip. It's not that it looks bad, but it's more cartoon strip type, or maybe not quite as detailed as, like, say, Doug to Naples, Bigfoot Bill, or Earthworm Jim books. That's the different styles take various amounts of time and all that kind of stuff. So it's just okay, hold up. There it's like, okay, so not published, I do super detailed stuff. So that's what I'm saying. And Kanan does like crazy detailed stuff. I mean, his stuff is just too much. And to the point where my colorists actually, I had one rate with the colorist, and then the colorist came back and was like, hey man, I'm having to do a lot of extra work on these pages because of the lines that Kanan puts in it. It takes longer. It takes longer to put the flat, I had to put the flats on a certain way and all this kind of stuff. And I just, and so we renegotiated. He was, renegotiated, because I was just like, man, sometimes sometimes he was knocking out. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you working shit. Doug does three, and I got a page of Bigfoot Bill hanging on the wall here. He was actually kind enough to send to me, and I got it framed up and hanging on the wall. I think it's page 88, I think, from Bigfoot Bill. And I don't know, I was thrilled when I received it, actually. But yeah, Doug has a more of an animation freer style, and he also sits there and he's just hardcore with it. You know what I'm saying? He just sits there, and I've been on a couple of streams with him because he would like DM me, and he was like, hey, I need someone to talk to while I draw. And I like watching him with that. He uses some kind of Indian ink, and he would sit there and do it. But the drawing streams can be a little tedious, though. Even though we're going to do a drawing stream with Kanan tomorrow. But that's, Kanan's going to come over, we're going to do a drawing stream. But he does like insane amounts of detail, but I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the stuff. But it's just depending on the type of style you work with. I mean, you could be doing manga, you could be doing anything. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Bianca Fuzzy, I like the Canales style fast. Well, salute to Mr. Canales. Haven't had him on in a while. He was on a few times. When the Abductables, and I had him on a couple times. It was Mr. Canales was always a fun guest. That Latino heat. But but yeah, man, everybody's talking. Man, I'm just throwing around. But it was like, okay, Baron Von Taco, okay, manga is sweet. Manga is, and so here's the thing. I like good manga. Some people do the manga style. Matter of fact, one of Kanan's daughters, now she's badass. One of Kanan's daughters, all his children draw. He got 4 kids, and every single one of them is an artist, and they're of varying degrees. But I think it's his second daughter, and she's the one that likes to draw. He was showing me some of her stuff, and everything she was drawing was like, Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff. So I just and then his son Dez likes to draw superheroes. It looks like everything's he just he just everything. And he showed me stuff from maybe a few years ago when he was like, say, maybe 10 or something. And you could tell the anatomy was a little off or janky or whatever, but he's starting His birthday's on the 5th, matter of fact. That's one of the reasons, like, because he's got to have that birthday, and then I got to send Kane in the plane ticket, and he got to hop on. So, but I've noticed that when he shows me Dez's stuff now, that it's starting to get more formed. The anatomy is better. Matter of fact, he sold some of Dez's art on Mike's auction streams. And people, I remember somebody paid like $200 some for one of Dez. But I think Dez draws a lot, and I think he's going to be huge. I joke with Kane, and I was like, well, one day you'll stop doing brand, and I'll just pass the art duties off to your son. And he was like, yeah. I was like, so get him trained, which would be awesome, by the way. It'll still say Antonio Bryce, and it'll have a white there. It's like, or it'll just say Bryce White. And I was just like, yeah, it's just like the father passed it on to the son. So, Dez, like I said, I'm looking forward to his birthday on the 5th. And then I am very much looking forward to going to get my brother up at the airport so that we can start signing these many thousands of comics that I have in the home. So there you go. There you go. Well, Charlie?
Yes, I'm still here. I was just waiting. I thought you were going to read some more of the chat. That was why I was waiting.
No, I am, but I was wanting. I was about to ask you something, but now your accent has thrown me off, and I can't remember what I was going to think. I was like, can you spot tea? I'm not trying to. I love.
My other half just made me a cup of tea. Can you believe that? So I'm sitting here with a cup of tea. How English is that? It's ridiculous.
Hold up. Now let me ask this, because I saw a thing where they were doing the tea English style and they were putting milk in it. Do you do that?
Yeah, but it's English breakfast tea, so it's like leaf tea. So it's not. I think there's all loads of different types of tea. This is I wouldn't put it in mint tea, for example, or Earl Grey or weird stuff like that. I'd just regular tea. If that makes sense. So if you go to like Starbucks, whatever, it's just English breakfast tea. You put milk in that one. That's the only one.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. So I was wondering, because I was like, they put milk in the tea. I'm curious about that. But okay, let me go. Because I saw someone asked a question I wanted to answer there. Okay, boom. Will you be cooking gumbo for Kanan when he visits the sign? Yes, I already have the stuff, by the way. I already have everything set up. I went, have my groceries delivered. I got my sausage and the chicken breasts and all that stuff. So just got to throw down and put it. And I guess he can tell me how horrible it is. And,
why would he tell you how horrible it is?
I don't know. I was like, show your hands and talk. I'm not doing anything. I was like, stop. Here you go. I was like, I'm definitely not showing my Twitter again. I messed up the other day. I was streaming with Comic Book Bob and Joseph King, and I wanted to show this new page that I had gotten from Kanan for brand. It was page number 13, and I opened my Twitter up, and I forgot that I had been watching adult entertainment. And yeah, that stream's private because I got to clip that little thing out. I got to clip out because I'm just thankful that I did not get a strike.
That's actually hilarious, though. Hilarious.
Yeah, after I got in trouble last year, like the guy I guess he saw the link and he typed it. He like paused the screen and he typed it in. And he was able to come in and hijack the streams, kick me out. He played porn on my channel. And it was crazy. It was, we were on the stream. It was me and Jamal Baraka. And all of a sudden, the stream had porn on it. And people were tripping in the chat. There was like, we had the chat going, and all of a sudden, you saw porn. And people were like, what the fuck? Does Antonio know this is going? Because and I heard there was like you could hear it. The guy was like giggling back or something. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, funny troll, but you got my channel in trouble for doing that.
I know someone that forgot to disconnect their Bluetooth speaker from their phone and started watching porn through their phone. And then the whole of the house heard what they were listening to because it was still connected to the speaker downstairs.
Yeah, like I said, Critias is in the chat. Well, hello, Critias. Okay, I did not know Critias was in the chat. Okay, I didn't know Critias was just well, hello, Critias. Hope you are doing well, sir. Oy. but yeah, no, I did not. Critias, did you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? That's why I was like, did you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? I'm just saying. But I was like, oh no, hold on, let's see. Critias, you should be driving an Uber right now, not in the chat. Well, from what I understand, he has already he is looking into that. So I know that was something he had talked about. You know, I know Critias is a hardworking man, and he wants to try to make it right. But Critias, that's a lot of money, brother. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. And it's just, but no. But okay. One thing I wanted to ask you, I don't think that's, well, Bianca, you are in the chat. I know you fancy yourself as a CG critic. I know you've done videos about Ethan and everything. Explain, if you're still here, what you are. I mean, when you come here and you never like spurred out in my chat, which is good. I would say I hate blocking folk, but I was like, when they act crazy in the chat, I was like, yeah, let me just hit the blocks on their ass and get rid of them. I like it. I'm just saying, I prefer to have just a chill chat and just everybody just talking about boom, just having fun and talking about porn and things like that I do. Well, I do talk about porn a lot, so I can't.
That's fine.
That's what I do. It's like sexy party, all that thing, and trust me, Caesar Caligula. I've seen the videos. I've definitely. I don't disagree with. He's a critic. I was like, yeah. Well, Ethan said that Ethan says he likes to call me fat, but I don't know. Yeah.
Antonio, here's something for you. I've got someone quite famous in the porn industry that follows me on Twitter.
But you're not gonna show anything, right? I mean, at least not clothes. I mean, at least clothes. Oh,
no, I've got Jenna Jameson follows me on Twitter.
Jenna Jameson follows you on Twitter. Do you understand how many dead children have been lost to Jenna Jameson films? This is yeah.
I don't know quite how it came about. I was talking about something on Twitter and she was involved in the conversation. I didn't realize she was involved in the thread, and the next minute it comes up, Jenna Jameson is following you on Twitter. So I was like, okay, I'm going to follow her back because it'd kind of be rude not to.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, well, yeah, there you go. Let me see. Bianca Fights the Zombie says, yes, I am CG. And then also says, Adam Friend is not a fan of mine. Now, Bianca, I will tell you that I watched your channel because I started hearing nasty things about you, and I watched your channel. I got to be honest. The videos... The video, I was like, okay, yeah, you're some of them did not sound like you like my good friend Ethan Van Sciver, but I'm sure you're just saying you're a critic. I don't know. Either way, my thing is, when you've come to the chat, you haven't been an asshole, so I haven't blocked you. That's why I haven't blocked you. And if but I put the same rules on Bianca as I would put on anyone. All are welcome here, but when you break the house rules, then I reach down and I hit the block button, and then you go away. And then I guess you can thumbs down the video, because I have people that just like to wait till I go live, and then they can just thumbs down on my video. And I love that. I was like, am I living rent free in your home? It's like, are you thinking it's like, when he goes live, I'm gonna thumbs down his video? I never do that, because I remember I asked Richard that, and he goes, yeah. He said there are people that are subscribed to my channel, and their sole purpose is when I load a video up, they want to make sure that they log on and thumbs down my video. And I was like, but you know, your boys, I mean, he could be talking about. No, go ahead.
When did the world get that
sad? Just I don't know, but Richard has crazy stalkers though. Some of the stuff he had told me like a year ago, because I remember I was in a room. We were in a fulfillment room. It was me and like, I don't know, about 20 people in there. It was supposed to be, the purpose of the room was to like swap tips and talk about different things. So that I remember Mike was in there, and Doug was in there, and we were all like, hey, because I was just trying to soak up stuff. I was just trying to soak up knowledge, because I knew, I was like, Kanan wasn't near finished. So I was like, okay, I need to be paying attention to what these guys are saying, so that when I do get into fulfillment, if they have any problems. But one thing I remember, Mike did that for the troops tier, and then he got screwed because when they tried to deliver it, they wouldn't take the pallet. I guess the base or whatever would not accept the pallet, and it was another address, and he was like, damn, I'd already paid these people, and the trucker was like, well, I can reroute it for extra. I know he went through hell, and I remember Ben Henderson actually, I know he helped him, and he was like, well, I can accept the delivery of the pallet and kind of redirect it somewhere else or something. But I was like, as probably one of the, because I had some people ask me to do from the troops for the troops tier, and I was like, after the stuff that I remember Mike went through, I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. It just didn't. There you go. Oh no. Okay, so Bianca has some fans in the chat. Let's see what's going on with the chat. Let me see. Okay. All right, let me go back up. All right. First of all, I said that I like Cyberfrog. She followed my old account. So did Rob. Ah, okay. So Jenna followed you too. Okay. Well, okay. And then Bianca promoted Mike's book yesterday, though. Okay. I don't. That doesn't bother me. I'm sorry if I was supposed. And I'm still Comicsgate. I'm not Comicsgate because that doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? You can't kick me out because there are a lot of people in Comicsgate that I don't agree with, and they don't agree with me, and all that kind of thing. That's the thing. Everybody in Comicsgate ain't gonna get along. These are facts. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Either way, let's see. Primark Sanguinus, it's okay to promote someone else's book so long as you stick to the house rules. Well, that's, like I said, just come in the chat and don't be a dick. That's all I ask on this channel. I can't speak for anybody else's channel. Let's say Paleoderma 1. I'm not a big fan of Bianca, but he's free to promote any book he wants. I would agree with that. Like I said, I wouldn't tell someone what they can do on their channel. That's, but let's see, and that means he's part of a cult too. That, well, I don't know. Cult gang, is that what we're doing? Cult gang. Let's see. CG only, not like the fraud CG Bianca. Well, okay. Like I said, speak with your wallet. Let's see. Ethan has always been nice to me. He has helped me. I had some mild criticism, but I think Comicsgate is awesome. Well, I got to be honest. When I saw the videos, it at least one of them I saw, it looked like he was taking some shots. But I didn't block you because I don't know. I love Ethan, so it's like, I don't know. But as I follow his Twitter feed, he tends to attract all types of folk, and
definitely.
Yes, he attracts all manner of. What I'm thinking of Littlefinger. All manners of perversion are valid to a man with a full purse. But I always love that line. But let me see. F. Ross 79. All right. Glass and clutches pearls. People are free to do whatever. Just don't be a spurring line. And well, that is absolutely. And okay, hold on. I see. Hold on. I want to see Mikey Woods. I see Mikey Woods. Zero forgiveness. Zero. Well, who are we? Okay. Uh, well, until at least I see it. Okay, until you see a PDF. That I don't think he has enough to do a book. I mean, he's got what 41 pages, I think, and I don't know. But Critias, if you could put together a PDF, that would actually be a nice gesture to your backers. If you could
Yeah,
like, if there was a decent stopping point somewhere, and you could be like, look, this is the book was being worked on, but even that, I mean, I don't. If I'm recalling, you said you didn't have the letters and stuff on the pages yet, so you have to pay someone to do letters and all that, or you could do that real wonky thing since you bought some fonts and put and do the font. Maybe you could be your own letterer. I don't know. Just be like, hey, this is a prototype, and yeah, one day I hope to have the finished product. I don't know. But that's it's like Brando, how war campaign feels about war campaign thoughts and white knights. We have mild criticism. Okay. What is it here? Boom. Cider Hot. No troops tier. If you want to send the books to the troops, print books and send them to the troops. End of story. Well, like I said, when Mike did that first time, he got burned, and Ben Henderson had to help him. I remember that, and because he was like, oh no, because he was obviously he's in California, and I think they were trying to deliver somewhere in Virginia, so he's on the other side of the country, and the driver's like, hey, they're not gonna take these or whatever, and he had to reroute the drive, and I'm pretty sure they charged him, you had to pay the fuel charge and stuff. But it was let me see. Hold on, let me see this one. Let me see. Anonymous Bosch. Who could hate this chill, jolly chocolate bonbon Bryce is on? But see, here's the thing. No. I don't live into that kind of fake illusion world, because I remember when, matter of fact, it was when that whole thing with the Andens happened, and it was Ethan Van Sciver. And I was on the stream with Ethan. He was like, who could hate on Antonio? Everybody loves it. I was like, no, everybody doesn't love Antonio. And Antonio's okay with that, because in a real world, you don't love everybody and everybody doesn't love you. That's reality. But yeah, I remember when Ethan had me on his channel the first time, there was so much shade and hate. They were like, why him? Why is this person being able to talk to, it was like that kind of thing. And I was like, I didn't know any of these people, but I was getting a lot of hate. So It is what it is. But yeah, everybody, but the people that come here, that interact and are in my chat all the time, and we just chill, man, salute to y'all, man. I always love that. We've had some fun times. Some of y'all I've seen been coming here for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And, that's awesome. And I appreciate it. That's the thing, I just want to, I just like a nice chill chat. Hopefully I can have, different comic book creators on. We can show their books. Hopefully people will get funded and all that, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, just kind of have some fun. And then on Saturday nights, I want to talk about dirty sex. And then other than that,
you've got your roster. It's completely fine. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Thursday nights I talk about wrestling council, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's like I'm hosting this week on Thursday, and then next week we'll be on the S&B network, Boogie Bentley's channel. So that'll be awesome. I look forward to that. It's like that channel, that podcast is growing. We've got it on iTunes and everything. So it is. I would really, really, just enjoy. Matter of fact, I want to do more podcasts. I'm, always trying to think of different concepts for shows. I don't think I want to do a comic book because someone's like, "Hey, do a comic book podcast." I just don't. I don't know. It would have to be. I've listened to a few of them on YouTube, and it just. I don't think that's the right move for me. I don't think. I mean, it would be.
If it's all right, Antonio, I was just going to say that on a Wednesday night, like we stream as CG UK. So it's a group of us. We just get together. We do like we're not like separate to CG. Nothing. We are CG. We're pure. CG. We just literally call ourselves CG UK because it's the time frame thing. It's like the time zone. So we'll stream it's about 9 o'clock our time. So I'm not sure what that is your time. But we just have a lot of fun and we're just silly with it. And it's a very sort of British sense of humour thing. And we've done silly things like murder mystery games. In a couple of weeks' time, we're doing a Cards Against Humanity online, but we're doing a Comicsgate version. So we're remaking the cards to match Comicsgate things and we're all asking each other the questions and we're going to try to get some creators on and it's all fun. It's all good. So we're just loving CG. We promote all the books. We promote all the artists, and we just have a good time. So yeah.
The critic said, "Who started Cult Gang and why?" I don't know. It was around the time that I remember Mike tweeted out something like it was cult. We were practicing like cult-like behavior. He said that he didn't call Comicsgate a cult, but I saw the tweet and I remember he tweeted out and I remember then he did a stream because Ethan did a stream. He did a stream and they was, talking about that he didn't say that Comicsgate was a cult, but he said that some people in Comicsgate were exhibiting cult-like behavior or whatever. And it just started spreading around. I know I saw some of the War Campaign guys, they were going in the memes, let the memes flow. They were doing their thing. So, that's the thing. So just like Comicsgate actually wasn't a positive thing, that name, and we took it, we flipped it, and it was like, okay, you're gonna call us Comicsgate. Boom, flipped it. Some people started going, okay, we're in the cult gang, and I started seeing people with the hashtag cult gang. It may have been War Campaign, I don't know exactly who, but that's I know where it started. I don't know who came up with the hashtag because I see the hashtag cult gang, and I know. Matter of fact, I think Huerta has shirts now. So, yeah. So let me see here. Okay, I got to wrestle. Oh, damn, the chat moving too fast. Hold on, let me go back up to the question. All right. All right, Primark, Sanguina. Speaking of the Wrestling Council, here's a fun question. Is Charlie into pro wrestling? And if so, who is her favorite wrestler and feud? I'm Kane versus Undertaker fan myself. Uh-oh.
Oh, God. I'll be honest, like my wrestling knowledge takes me back to when I was a kid. My favorite was also always Sensational Sherry. Was always my favorite when I was growing up. And The Undertaker. But that's about my limit and my knowledge. I'm much more into like soccer, to be honest with you, than I am wrestling, Antonio. So I apologize for that.
No, it was funny. I remember I think it was the second episode we did of the Wrestling Council, and I invited Mandy on. Bless her heart. Mandy came on and Mandy brings the ratings, but boy, when we would go like, what do you think, Mandy? And she'd be like, I didn't really watch it because I told her a couple of days before. I was like, "Hey, I was like, watch this show and we're gonna talk about it." I think she kind of just like did the Cliff Notes version, but she's a sweetheart and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love Mandy a bit.
But yeah, she's a trooper. She was because I was like, most women I know aren't into professional wrestling. Obviously, I am, and I've been watching wrestling since I was like 5-6 years old. So like about 40 years. So of watching Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Big John.
I remember all them. Yeah, I remember all of them. I mean, my other half, he watches, I think, is it the Canadian one? I think he watches. I have no idea. He gets on with that, and I'm sort of reading or doing whatever. But yeah, he watches the Canadian.
Do you know if they still have Stampede Wrestling? Because that's where that was Bret Hart's father owned that Stampede. Stu Hart owned Stampede Wrestling, and that's where the British Bulldogs came. Man, it was like you had Davey Boy Smith there, and Bret Hart, and all Bret's brothers wrestle. Bret got like 7-8 brothers, and they all wrestle. and that kind of thing. So,
he said, yes, ECW.
ECW. Oh man, ECW. I remember you would have to watch ECW at midnight on one of the UHF channels, or the VH was it UHF. This was before we had the digital televisions and all this. I had like a foil. You had your antennas. You had to put a little foil on the antenna.
I remember that.
Oh God, yeah. So, I just but yeah, I think it was on channel 30, and ECW, you'd be up at like 11 or 12. Sometimes, matter of fact, they pushed it to like 1 o'clock in the morning because it was, it's this extreme champion, and it was like you'd see the blood and all this kind of stuff, and it's just, Comic Book Bob says that Stampede ended around 2000. I just wondered. Okay. Let me see. Let me get Israel Garcia. What's Charlie's channel's name? Do you have a channel of your own? I know you stream on the Captain Fuckhead's channel, or
yeah. If you just go to Charlie's London, you can subscribe to me. I am going to start doing videos and stuff because, as I said to you, I'm going to be launching my own comic soon. So I'm definitely going to
this year. You're going to do it this year?
Well, I'm setting up the mailing list in about June, July, and I'm going to hopefully start to do my promo and stuff in about August. It's definitely going to be in the summer because when I'm not so pro comic skating on Twitter and doing all this stuff, I'm a history teacher in the real world. So
you actually teach.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to do everything in pretty much the summer holidays, so I can stick to whatever time zone I need to promote in and whatnot. So it's definitely going to be. It looks like August, and it hopefully, fingers crossed, will be sort of fulfilling by about January, February time the following year. So I don't mind talking about it. I'm completely free to talk about my comic. I just didn't want to come and invade your stream, Antonio.
No. Well, that's the thing. One thing I remember when I had Chuck Dixon and your boy Zach on, you mentioned that you had acquired the rights to Charlie Chaplin to do maybe a Charlie Chaplin comic or something.
Yeah, I'm not. So basically, I've got the rights to turn his life into his autobiography into a graphic novel. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm not doing it as sort of like starting from when he was born and working through. I'm doing it in a bit of a different way. So I'm literally just writing my scripts now. It's really exciting for me because I've got his official biographer is helping me write the script. And what's even more exciting for me is he wrote the script for the film with Robert Downey Jr.
I love that movie, by the way. I remember he got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Yeah, he did. So his name's David Robinson. He's one of not only the nicest guys in the world, he's so knowledgeable, and he knew Charlie Chaplin. And he's going to do the foreword for me as well. So it's such a personal thing for mine. In fact, the minute I got the rights, the first person I DM'd was Ethan, and I told him. Because how it all sort of came about was he had like an open house stream around Christmas time, and he asked me, I went on and he asked me and said, where's the name come from? And I told him, and he was like, oh my God, I love silent films. So there seemed to be no one better for me than to tell him first. So I told him first. And it's just brilliant. I can't wait. There's been so much excitement about it, and it's just, to me, it's just going to be such a thing of pride, and I can't wait to get it out, really. I'm going to really love it.
So, wait a minute, can I ask you, so you got the rights to his life story that I'm assuming, sometimes I've heard that with celebrities, the likeness or whatever, the likeness rights are separate. Like, can you use his likeness in the book as well, or just take his story and do something? Sometimes I've heard that can be complicated.
No, I'm actually, this is what's really unique. I've got the rights to his image, and I've got the rights. Yeah. But I've got the rights to his image in a graphic novel form. So in theory, I can do it over 1, 2, 3, 5 books, as long as I stick within the genre that I'm signed to. I have, I won't say free reign, But the reason I specifically wanted it this way was because I can use images from the archives as inspiration for the artist to work with, and it's completely within the remit of what I can do. And then if I wanted to have, maybe as a stretch goal, one of my issues has the beautiful pictures in the back from the archive that are the inspiration, like as lovely prints, I'm allowed to do that, and they'll remove the watermark for me. So it's all these little things, and I've made sure that I worked all this out. That's why listening to your stream yesterday was really important, because I did literally go, right, what do I do? Because I'm the first person to put my hands up and say, I'm an academic. You want me to write you a paper on Chaplin? Yeah, no problem. You want me to write you a comic? It's slightly harder. And I'm very honest. I'm going into this with my eyes open, and I'm saying, I don't necessarily know how to do this. Please help me do this. Who do you recommend? What do you say? And people like, you know, yourself, Ethan, Liam Gray has been amazing, and Adam Post. Oh my God, I can message Adam anytime, and he's like, boom, use this, do that. Peter Gilmore, Mandy, all these people, they've reached out to me, and it's just, I can't thank the community enough, and I'll always be Comicsgate for that reason.
That just warms my cockles.
There you go. That's me.
Okay, let me see. Hold on, let me see. Prime marks and green. Okay. So, what did Charlie find the most surprising when looking into Chaplin's personal life and upbringing? I have heard that he used his comedy to help deal with depression.
Right. Okay. That's a really, really good question, because that's how it all started for me. So I was doing family history about 15 years ago now, and one of the pictures of my relative that was in a workhouse in Lambeth, which was like an orphanage, I had to ask the Charlie Chaplin estate for this picture. And I'm like, why have I got to ask them this estate for a picture of my relative? Turns out that my relative was in the same boys' home as Charlie Chaplin. They're sat 3 rows away from each other. So I started thinking, okay, so is this where he gets his humour from? Is this where like the poverty and stuff, is this where the films come from? And it got me really interested in looking at the life of my family growing up in London at that time, and the life of his family, and how things sort of they interlinked, and it blew things open for me. And so I think there's so much. I think he did use his humour, and I think he definitely used his growing up to, and his art to sort of get him through what he grew up with, because it was horrendous. His mother, he ended up having to have his own mother committed to a mental asylum at 14. He took her there himself because she couldn't cope. So it's quite an interesting story.
I remember because one of the things I remember about you said Michael Jackson signed.
Yeah.
What was it? Your hand, I think.
My wrist. Yeah.
And then you had it tattooed on.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he has well, I don't even know if Neverland exists the way it used, because I'm pretty sure they sold the property, but or they tried to sell it, because I've heard that it's difficult because all the, he had all the rides and all this. I don't know who would want to own that place, but it was such a big place, and it's not practical for just raising a family of 3 or whatever. No. But it was it would. He had a Charlie Chaplin statue, and I saw he had a Peter Pan statue also. Mm-hmm. He had like a Charlie Chaplin. He was a big Charlie Chaplin. Matter of fact, I have the Dangerous album, and he said he had a quote from Charlie Chaplin in it. Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, he recorded Smile as well for the History album, and I believe he dressed up a couple of times as him as well. There's a couple of pictures that floated around that he dressed up as him. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. That like my 2 biggest.
I saw a picture of him from the 70s where he still had like the fro or something, and he had I remember that. But it's like, I was a big fan of the King of Pop. But Blue Spectre, out of curiosity, what does your signature look like, and will you guys be signing on the front cover or inside the book? I actually saw Tug was signing on the inside with his daughter, and I thought about that. I've got gloss. Hold on, let me take this down so people can see more. like when you highlight a comment and it just blocks up half the damn screen. But hold up. But let me put it on me. Here's a problem I've gotten. Okay, so you see, it's nice and shiny. All right, so it's not. We put had to pay almost $400 to put this UV gloss coating thing on because I was like, I want it to last. I want the book to be nice and pretty, right? So one thing I've noticed, I've gotten a couple of comic books and from CG, and when they pack them and the person signed on the front, and like if it gets cold outside or it's a little damp, the plastic from the bag that they used, it smudges it.
Oh.
And so then I get a comic book and it's all smudged out. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. So maybe I'll do a Twitter poll and put it on my YouTube. I can do a YouTube comments too and let the backers decide, should we sign on the interior, which would be this page. Hold up. Boom. So that would be home. Make sure I get it. Okay. So yeah, this would be a nice page to sign on, I think. Mm-hmm. But I also like signing on the cover, but I don't want the signatures to smudge as we ship them out, because that would suck. I want, when you get it, I want you to be like, hey, this is beautiful. So I don't know, but maybe I need to do a poll. I'll do a poll on my Twitter and on the YouTube community page and see if people would prefer a signature in the front or a signature on the, on the interior page there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, idea. Really good.
But what are your personal preferences on that, since you're here?
I love the signing on the front if I'm going to frame them. But if it's something that I want to keep in my collection, I think inside, because not only have you got to protect the cover, but you've got to protect the signature.
Yeah, just trust me. A matter of fact, and not to throw any shade, because he's a really nice guy. When I got asked, because that was the thing when we did the stream with Critias yesterday, some people were saying that that Ben Jones's book Asgard did not fulfill, and I got 2 copies of Asgard, and I actually emailed Ben when I got them because, well, one thing he put them in, but he didn't use a bag and board. When they arrived in good condition. I can't, the books themselves arrived in good condition, but he put the books smack dab touching each other, right? And then and when I opened the package up, his signature smudged, and then it got on the back of the book, and then the front cover is smudged on one of them. So I was a little bummed out by that. I was like, because print, I think he used Kraken Press, but I'd have to ask him that. But his print was outstanding. They did a great job with so I was like, I got these great looking books and they got a smudged signature on them. So that kind of sucked. Let me see. Okay, let me see here. Antonio, why in the hell is Critias a mod on your channel after what was brought to light yesterday? Honestly, he's been a mod on this channel for over a year. I didn't go back in after the stream and go, let me strip. And I don't, and he's never abused his wrench privileges. Before yesterday or now. So that's why I don't know. Like I said, we did the stream. I still like Critias. I don't like how he handled his campaign. So that's why. But he's been a mod on this channel for over a year. We've been friends for a while now. So yeah, he was a mod. Let's see, he's a mod. Doug was a mod. Ethan's a mod. Cecil's a mod. John Malin's a mod. It was a bunch of the guys in the private chat, and they were all mods on the channel. So I mean, that's as honest as answer is. I'm not this. Okay. But he embezzled $38,000 from CG customers. I don't think Critias embezzled the money. I think he didn't manage the money correctly. If he embezzled, If he embezzled the money, I don't think he would have showed up on the stream yesterday. But Critias knows he didn't handle all that money the right way. He didn't budget it properly. The project wasn't. I mean, Critias, I've said this all to you. You know, that was the whole thing is a clusterfuck. I'm just saying, embezzle. Testify. Embezzle means that you went in with a plan to steal money. I think he just did not. Critics, I think you just were overwhelmed. I think you just didn't know what you were doing. So that's what it is. So 7 of 9. I remember when I gave you the wrench, I didn't have any mods, and you've popped up in my chats a few times, and I was like, okay, well, let me give him a wrench because you actually care and you show up. So I was like, okay. And you weren't a dick. So I was like, let me just give you one. And some people, I give them a wrench just for the stream. And then if after the stream, sometimes I go, I don't know if I want to keep them as a wrench. But I so far, you have not abused your wrench privileges. Okay. Testify. They said, this is BS. I'm sorry. That you disagree with me, but my thing. Like I said, we are not in dispute on as a customer, as a Detective Dad backer. He definitely did not handle that campaign the right way, but he was wrenched well before all that. And you know, you want me to go in and remove his wrench? Is that? I don't know. That seems kind of weird to do that after. I don't know. Unless he's doing something inappropriate in the guilt by association. So you're saying I'm guilty of something? Yeah. I don't. And it's weird talking to you like this over the chat, man. Like I said, we don't agree. And I don't see him. There are people in here that are very angry at Crid, and he's not timing them out, even though he has a mod. Because if he started doing shit like that, I would take the wrench. He's not timing you out. He could time you out and block you and do all kind of stuff as a mod on the channel, and he's laying back and letting you do your thing and letting you have your say, because you have a right to have it. If you back Detective Dead and you're not happy about how Critias handled his business, you have a right to be vocal about that. And Critias, you need to listen to everybody. You need to listen to every single person. That backed your book, man. It's like about 1,200 folks, over $38,000, and So testify. Like I said, I'm not. I don't believe in purity tests. I'm not gonna go, Critias, I remove your wrench. I'm like that. To me, that seems like a lame thing to do, unless he is abusing his mod powers. Because if you do that, then I will remove it. But he's, like I say, he's had a wrench for over a year on this channel, so I don't know. I actually didn't think about it until you mentioned it, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Lock It Up Inc. Why do you have a pregnant lady in the background? Akari, love the baby pump. Okay, well let's answer your question. Okay, so I'm gonna Charlie's London. Do you know why I have a pregnant lady on the background?
I guess it's. Could it be your mum? Like
it's not.
I'm trying to think artistically. I don't know.
I'll try to show. I can't get it to. Okay, hold on. Now it's coming up. Okay, so here we go. Sometimes with the stream, the bandwidth. Okay, so this is the campaign for Brand Way of the Gun. Haven't refreshed it, but I don't. This is okay. So this is where the section where we showing all the covers. Here's the she cover that Kanan did. Here is the pregnant lady. This is Dawn pregnant. This was done by Matthew Weldon. And there's the Dark Santana cover from Rob Willis, Shinobi Sasquatch. And then here's the Fame and Wither cover from Demetrius Miller. Well, I'm trying to.
It's the sketch from that. There we go.
Yeah. Well, it's all crazy. It's all wonky. But that is why I have that's the original art for. That's why I have the original art there hanging. let me see. Let's see here. IJ, critics should lay down for a while. People are pissed. Yeah, I gotta be honest, Crid. When he texted me earlier, and I told him, I said, lay low, because he was. I saw him trying to mix it up on Twitter, and critics, I did give you the advice. I was like, bro, everybody's pissed at you. You need to lay low and kind of think and come up with a plan, and try to come up with a way to fix everything. So when I saw him in the chat, I was shocked. I was like, oh, he's in the chat. And so it surprised me that he showed, because yeah, that's, that's why, yeah, I'm not in disagreement there. So yeah, because I was like, oh, but surprisingly, some people are angry at Creed, but they're not going way over the top. So yeah. I'm like, let me see. Junkyard done. Let me get that. Boom. All right. Also a playoff, how everyone accuses Matt Weldon of drawing all his ladies with the baby bump. Well, that cover was the Demi Moore Vanity Fair cover from, I think, 1986, or is it 87? Around that time, she was pregnant with Rumor Willis and her first daughter. And she posed nude on the cover of Vanity Fair. She was like, oh, covered breasts, all that kind of thing. And everybody's like, she's pregnant. Why is she naked on the cover of the magazine? And it sold like gangbusters. They sold a couple million covers. And there's a little angle in the comic book. I've mentioned it, as we go a little further along, that, Dawn and David will have kids and all this kind of stuff. That's kind of a play. It'll make more sense once the actual comic, the Way of the Gun comic comes out, because all the different covers have themes. There's a reason for each cover. Each one. I didn't just do random covers. They like touch on things in the book, and so, let's see. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Blue Spectre, how would you categorize brand for a rating? We are definitely mature. And we will get more into the maturity later on. So let me see. Boom. All right, I'll be out. A try to disrupt your stream. So later, everyone. Okay. Now, well, Crit, again, like I said, I feel like you need to fall back and figure out a way to kind of make these things right, I think. And when you do that, hopefully, whether, like I said, you've got a bunch of finished pages, do something and send something out to the back. Like I said, I know it'll take some time to put it all together, but that would be a good way to at least kind of start the healing process, because it's like you've been knocked down and you need to rebuild from the ground up. Because, like I said, I'm a backer. I definitely, I was like, damn, I could have kept that 50. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, that kind of thing. But I just, yeah. But yeah, just fall back for a little bit, and yeah. But when you figure out something, or if you need some advice, if it's something I can help you with to try to fix this, then hopefully, you can reach out. But let me see here. Drew, aka Mystery. Hey, Antonio. Hey. Well, Drew.
Hello.
Captain Love. All right. They call me Captain Love. Oh no, Bear about Taco Cat. I love Pregos. Well, yeah. Yeah, so do I. Yeah. But let me see. Okay, Mikey. Okay, so Mikey Woods in PDF. I definitely think, since you got, from what he's saying, he's got like 41 pages of art on his computer or in wherever he's storing the files. So he's got 41 pages. Take that and turn it into something that you can send out to backers. I definitely think you should do that, because you may have used their money on other stuff, but you use their money on those pages too. At least let them get a look at what their money went into producing. I would very much like to see that. I don't know how much more money you would need to do that, but if you got that many pages, try to find a place, a stopping place, and then like craft it into a nice PDF and send it out to the backers and let them read it. And at least see what their money went into. Paying Rod and paying your colorists and all that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much more money and how far along in the process you are, but if there is a way, since you got all those pages, you might as well do something with them and like send it out to the backers or whatever.
Antonio, can I just ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Did please remind me, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Did Cridius say yesterday that he had paid and they had not produced the work? Is that correct?
I remember at that time he said that Rod had produced. He paid him for 70 pages and he produced 40. As of this morning, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect, Critius, he updated it and he said that he actually paid him to do 83 pages of art, and Rod had given him 41 of those 83. And I saw Rod on Twitter a couple hours ago also talking about the they want to finish the book and get it out to people. But
so my question then would be, why is he not trying to recoup some money to take him to maybe a small claims court or get some sort of legal action where he's got to give him these pages? Because if he's paid, doesn't he deserve a product? I mean, I don't know much about it. This is me just speaking hypothetically, but I'm just wondering, if I'd paid for something, to me there needs to be a bit more of a kickback of, we as back product, you need your art. That's how this is all going to move along, surely. I mean, I don't know.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, when I've had Rod on twice, I think he's in Brazil. He doesn't even live in the States, so it would cost as much money, and it would be.
I'm not throwing any shade on the artist at all. It was me thinking, like, if it was me, what I would do, because obviously there's a lot we don't know, and I don't know. I'm not privy to all the information, so I wouldn't want to say anything bad about anyone. But if I'm thinking, if it was me, what I would do, that's all.
Let me see. That's what I was saying. I don't think. Okay, hold on. Here's critics. Okay, so he paid him for 84 pages, and he says he has 41 of those pages. I know actually tweeted some out a couple hours ago. I think they were at least in pencil form. They were maybe rough pencils. Let's see. I see Art T Bear in the chat. Hello, Art. Let's see. Victor, Art T Bear is now here. Is this a convention for swindlers? All we need next is Cecil to come in. Okay.
What?
I don't know. Did Art swindle? I don't know. Art. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming that's a joke. Victor, well, at least Cecil would have used his funds to trick some investors in some scheme and left for Taiwan and lived in luxury. Nah, too lazy, just fulfilling due parts. Well, there you go. Yeah, but there you go. Let me see. Let's say the chat works. Do you get a job, deadbeat? Well, okay. There you go. There you go. But yeah, Craig, yeah, let the people cool off a little bit. You too hot for TV right now. And I definitely I was like, damn, Craig's in the chat. And I was just like, Craig, you can't drop all that knowledge on us. You can't drop all that knowledge on us and then just show back up like you didn't say shit yesterday. I was just like, oh, it's a little hot. It's a little hot. Too hot. It's getting hot in here. Yeah. Let me see. But I don't know. I don't know. Ask me something, Charlie. I don't know.
I was just reading. I wasn't sure. Art said, "I sure do." I was curious what he sure does. I didn't manage to catch the top of the thing.
Let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Testify. Testify. Giving them the business. Let's see. Testify. Critics. You have a computer, internet. Now all of a sudden, how the hell did 38K vanish? Admit you spent it on yourself. Well, he's shown some art, and Rod has said he's been paid for art, which he claims he's going to produce. Um, I mean, that's what Rod's saying, but I wish Rod was in the chat where he could actually, yeah. But Mr. T Bear feeling hot, hot, hot. Well, there you go. You're hot, hot, hot. Oh,
I
yeah.
love Art. Every time I've ever spoken to him, he's like the nicest guy.
Now, you know what I love about Art? And this is hilarious. Art starts his chat up, and and he doesn't want to swear, right? So it was so funny. Like I was watching his stream earlier, and he was like, "I don't want to. I might talk some. What did he say? Some BS or something?" He was trying not to swear, and then once he relaxed, he just said, "Hey, I might be talking some shit here." Or something. I was just laughing my ass off because he just went through so much trouble not to swear, and he thought there was like a little grade schooler in there or something.
I need to send Art a photo actually, because for Christmas I got this limited edition like makeup box. It's like from one of the a British brand of makeup, and it's a Wonder Woman limited edition set, and I am sure it's his Wonder Woman on the box. I'm sure it's his Wonder Woman. It looks like an art style, so I have to take him a picture and tweet it to him, because if it is, that's a really cool thing that I got for Christmas and nobody even realizes it. So brilliant.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Drew. Let me see what Mr. E said. When I first came to CG, critics was referenced as the way not to be, and that people won't trust me because of him. All the new campaigns are lower from people who took the money and ghosted. Potato. I don't know. I think that things happen on a case by case basis.
It's a good point though, because this is something that I'm worried about. Like I'm petrified of launching a campaign and not fulfilling because people were too scared to back because they don't know anything about me. You know, I'm a nobody in the comic world, so to speak. So it is scary, and I think it has dented small creators and new creators, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I'm concerned about some of the campaigns I know that are coming up. Because people are like, hey, I don't know if I'm on a new person. I don't know if they're gonna trust them and all this kind of thing. But Testify HD, Antonio, I am sorry for stopping the flow here. Critics be in the chat acting like he didn't do anything wrong and yesterday didn't happen. It's very angry. I will stop now. Well, first of all, I'm very happy that none of the mods timed you out because I didn't think you were being you were being over the top, and I felt like you have a right to express yourself. So, so as far as I know, we good. Create. Sometimes I've tried to tell you this. Learn to read the room, baby. People were not happy yesterday. They were very angry. People making videos and tweeting and doing it. People were very angry yesterday, and you can't just show up and be like, "Whoo, it's morning time. Everything's spring and sunshine." Because everybody go like, "What the fuck? What's he doing?" that's the type of reaction you're gonna get. Let it cool down. Come up with a plan to use what you've paid for, what you've been given already. Come up with a plan, and then address that. Send out a backer update, all that kind of thing. When you get that figured out, then hopefully, if you show some contrition, then everything is good. That's what I'm hoping. But okay, your Art says, please send it to me. Boom, that picture that you were gonna send.
Yeah.
And then so Carpet super chat. Is it? I mean, I've there was a super chat earlier, but I don't know. I'm not asking for super chats. If people want to super chat, I've always I accept all donations, great and small. But let me see. Haggis Moose, critics aim too high, as others have said. Aim lower, and you should be safer. And yeah, let's see. On a lighter note, are there any manga or anime that Charlie is a fan of? Oh, okay, Charlie, tell me that.
Manga or anime? Again, you've got the wrong the wrong member of this relationship on the stream, because my other half reads manga and anime and I don't. So I suck at that as well. So I'm sorry. But it doesn't mean I wouldn't read it. It's just I've never really explored into it, should we say.
Okay. So yeah, all that stuff should be directed to the hubby. Okay.
Yeah. I'll tweet you, Antonio. I'll find out what he reads and I'll tweet it to you.
That sounds good. Conversation. I will no longer back any campaign that isn't at least 80% complete or have not fulfilled a previous campaign. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely fair. All right, Slick Rick, you've pissed off a lot of people and made creators look bad. Critics, go away until you sorted it out. If you can't, don't bother coming back. That's definitely fair. That's definitely fair. Let's see. Samira Risby, please change the subject of card press. I'm curious what is Charlie going to do. Well, you can't control what the chat wants to talk about. That's the beauty of a chat. That's the beauty of a chat. So it's like you can't. I was like, but yeah, I understand. We want positive vibes and all this kind of like. Let's see. Out of all the CG books I've back, Antonio's the only newbie compared to the guys like ABS is that, and his customer service is by far the best. Well, thank you. I try to at least talk to people and I try to fix things, and I am looking forward to sending you your fine comic book wares.
Peephole Circus in the chat's gone. I came here to hear about Charlie. Peephole, you talk to me nearly enough every night. Let Antonio talk about something different.
I don't know. I'm basing the conversation on. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look here. Okay, card press per Spartan. I can't talk now. Per Spartan Scotsman, who is in the chat, said on Twitter, I'll say it again here. I will donate digital inks in color to help fulfill Detective Dead. CG's rep as a whole is more important to me. Oh, that would be huge. I've seen he inked a piece that Kanan had done a Obi-Wan Kenobi poster for a client. He did it all in pencils, and yeah, he inked that. It did a really good job on that. Critius. That would definitely be something I would if you two can link up, that would be awesome. And I think that would if we can I look at this as like a almost like a 9/11 type event for Comicsgate.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to like here in the States when 9/11 happened, it was, after the incident, everybody come together, everybody's helping each other. That would be nice to, obviously that's your time, and you would for you to be that generous and donate it. But boy, that would really help, because that's one thing I know Critics was having to pay at. He was telling me some of these page rates and stuff he was having to pay these people. It's going to cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So anything you can do to, if, like I said, don't be too proud, Critics. If someone's willing to help you, let them, help them. Let's see. Carpet. Oh, okay. That's, it's the same thing. Okay. Because like I said, I didn't know he had sent it, but he's in the chat. So there you go. Okay. So he sent me. I thought I got all the super chats. Hold up. So I totally missed it. Let me go all the way up or find it. I'm sorry. Let me. Oh, here it is. Oh, there's a couple of super chats. The chat is moving. There's over 100-some people in here. The chat's moving so fast. Okay, hold up. Okay, so here's a $2 super chat from Drew, aka Mr. E. Captain Love, Bubblegum Money. He gave me $2. Okay, boom. So so now I have the super chat from Spartan Scott. I honestly didn't see it because the chat was moving so fast. I was trying to find comments to add to the conversation. But okay, for $4.99. Said it on Twitter. I'll say it again here. I will donate digital inks, and that's what Comic Book Bob. Okay, I will donate to CG's rep as a whole is more important. Okay, there you go. That's super chat. Let me see. I don't think there's any more because I read the early one for like $2 at the beginning. So if you see one, please alert me to it because I'm just used to just talking about porn and stuff. That's what I do. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to see. Okay. They're about talking about 80 pages, $200, 16. That's why I'm trying to tell people. And Ethan even said it when he came on. He was like, art is going to be the most expensive things that you produce. And, and matter of fact, that 200, that's, God, that's horrible. The 200 is your $200 including the coloring? Because I know I was spending on color, with the cane and everything. I was spending over $200 something a page, each page, the covers, all that. So let's see, stupendous. 989. Never forget, Critics had the keys to the kingdom. Spent $8K on back of funds on his car, rent, school supplies. Well, that is definitely true. Book will never come out. No one will get a refund. I'm keeping fingers crossed, but you never know. Maybe some of the book can come out. But like I said, I'm not foolish enough to realize that things need to happen. A miracle needs to happen. There needs to be more cash. And the art does not create itself. You need to, you need more influx of green. But from what he's saying, he's paid Rod Looper for 84 pages, and Rod has delivered 41. So he still owes him a nice chunk of pages. And so hopefully Rob will produce those, although I think he's only penciling, so then he'd have to hire. But Mr. Scotsman could possibly ink. But let me see. Primarch Sanguinus. Here's a spicy question for both Charlie and Antonio. Which genre do you prefer, sci-fi or fantasy, and why? Ooh. Okay.
Oh, well, growing up, I loved, my big thing when I was growing up was the X-Files. Oh my God, like I've still got all my original VHSs, believe it or not, in a loft in my parents' house. Like that was my thing. But is that more cult than sci-fi, I suppose, isn't it? The X-Files. But that was, even now, like I love that show. I think probably more sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars. If I'm honest, not really. I don't really think there's much fantasy that I really like. Lord of the Rings, maybe. That's about it.
See, yeah, that's the kind of, because that's where I'm more into that. That's why I like Game of Thrones and stuff. Matter of fact, I'm looking for the Lord of the Rings television show that's going to be on Amazon, which they're spending over $200 million. Those episodes, I'm hearing an average of about 10 to 12 million per episode, which is going to be. Well, Game of Thrones got expensive as the seasons went on, because they were averaging about 2.5-3 million per episode, and then we got when the dragons got bigger, they had a special effect. They had I think it was in season 6, where Daenerys was riding on the back of was it Drogon, and she was going against the Jaime Lannister, and they there was like a river there, and he flew over. That one shot, they said, cost like $4 or $5 million. They spent like over $8 million on special effects on that one episode, just on special effects.
That's crazy. That's crazy money. I don't think I'll ever see that sort of money in my entire lifetime, and that's like 7-8 seconds of footage.
Yeah, they just like, they spent that much money, but the dragon looked damn good, though. I will say that. So I enjoyed that, and then the show went right. Like in season 7 and 8, the show went into the shitter, and then I was done. So I mean,
I like that with The Walking Dead. I mean, I read the Walking Dead comics from like the get-go.
The new trailer was interesting. I saw it. I
haven't seen the last 2 series because I pretty much stopped, because it deviated so far from the comic. I was like, I'm done with this. It's terrible.
Yeah, I got a couple of my friends that stopped watching. They used to be hardcore with it too. Let me see. Hold on. Hold up. Let's see. Drew. Here's Drew for $5. Captain Love still in demand and ships immediately. I appreciate everyone who supports my book and always will. This is a paid promotion. Well, thank you for the $5, Drew. But let me hold on. There was a question that here he goes. Hold on. Hadouken. For those of us on the no sign list for brand, are you shipping those out first? Either way, I enjoy. Well, yes. Matter of fact, I'm hoping to start shipping next week. Once I've got the cards, I just got a confirmation that the cards should be here probably right at the beginning of the week, and then the stickers are also on their way. So I'm like, yay, getting stuff, and then everything else is pretty much here. So I'm like, yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to do that. I want to do that poll. I want to do it on YouTube, and I want to do it on Twitter about should I sign it on the interior or should I sign it on the cover? Because I don't think the interior kind of sounds more, because I think with the gloss on the cover, I think the signature, even though I got the quick dry, I've got a silver and gold Sharpies. I got packs of silver and gold Sharpies to do the signatures with. I'm not sure if the signatures will run or not. And that's, like I said, when I got that copy of Asgard and the signature was smudged, I was like, I was a little bummed out by that. So I was like, damn, because I spent about $50 because he had, a couple books and stuff like that. Let's see. Anonymous Bosch, it can come out if he drops a page count and goes black and white. His artists are very good, but critics could never afford. Yeah, like I said, when you start hiring a colorist and all that kind of stuff, them I know I spent about $6,000 just doing colors. I spent about $6,000 just doing colors. Boy, and writing all this stuff off of my taxes. I'm telling you. Okay, hold on. Lock it up in carpets. I know you're writing fearsome. What's the genre? Doctor Strange or like Ghost Rider? Maybe more Ghost Rider based on what Ethan's saying. It's the dream realm, all this kind of. He's got this it's the guy goes to sleep and I guess he becomes this character. He's trying to explain it to me, but I need to. Again, he said we need to chop it up. So he's like, me, him, and Kanan, we need to chop it up because I know when I talk to Kanan, we like riff off each other and come up with all these crazy ideas and stuff. So that's kind of what but I just need Ethan to kind of give me his plot point as far as what he wants, and then we can start trying to figure that out. Hold up. I saw one about Sexy Party. I love Sexy Party. I just did. Matter of fact, the new episode of Sexy Party I've loaded it. It should be on iTunes. I know it's on Spotify already. Yeah. Man, this chat is moving so damn fast. I need to go back to streaming with 3 people in the chat. That's awesome. And CG. Quiet. Yeah. I was like, I don't. It's like. Matter of fact, I don't know when Ethan's gonna do another auction. I know Mike does them every week, but obviously that's Mike. Mike do his thing, and let me see. FRI with Sexy Party on the brain, he will write for. Oh wow, that would be hilarious. Foursome. I was like, I could do that as a parody. And
someone's put some good questions in the chat there.
I was like, let's see, Haggis, Smooth. There was a Marvel chair I liked, character I liked, Sleepwalker. Didn't run long, but it was about a guy who went to sleep and the Sleepwalker. Yeah, like I said, I'm not exact. Ethan explained the guy dreams and he becomes this character. It's like Nightmare Realm and all these monsters and stuff. Sounded really cool. Let's see here. Okay. Primark Sanguineous. Here's a good one for you, Charlie. What is the best So Bad It's Good movie of all time, and why is it Zardos? I don't even know what that is. The best movie that is so bad of all time is Olivia Newton-John and Xanadu, man. Yeah.
For me, it's that film The Room. My brother took me to see it last year. They do it. They still show it like in and around. I think, what is his name? Oh, God, I can't remember his name. Now, Tommy Wiseau takes it all around the world. That film that they made Disaster Artist about with James Franco. It's about the making of that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, and then right when they were doing the award season, he got accused. He got the Me Too situation happen to him. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna win the Oscar." And then when the situation happened, all of a sudden he didn't get nominated, and everybody was like,
no. And that film's so bad that you love it. It packs out entire cinemas. Like, there's this whole big cult thing with it, Antonio. It's crazy. Like, there's this whole thing about spoons in this film. So like,
I've seen clips of this movie. I've seen clips, because now the comic book Bob is saying Sean Connery's in. I remember seeing Sean Connery. I was like, Sean Connery is embarrassing. Oh my God, just this is not good. This is not good. And, but like testify HD, like I said, sorry for distracting your stream. I just want the best for CG. Critics is black out here. Like I said, Critics knows he messed up, but you can't, and that's the thing. You can't just act like, it's a brand new day. Once you sent that update out, and then you appeared here and stuff, you have to your day. You have to start from ground zero now. You either put the information out there, you talk to the people. People are mad, as they have a right to be. Now you got to just start over and just go from the beginning. So
yeah, totally.
Okay. But let me see. Because oh my, we've been going for almost 2 hours here. I was like,
I know. I might have to go soon because it's nearly.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. I gotta get some food. I'm hungry. That's why I'm like, it's time to eat. And I'm like, it's dinner time for me. That's why I was like, but I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chats or any of this kind of stuff. And hail to the chat. Okay. That's Captain Love again. Matter of fact, I read it off the thing, but boom, we give him another plug there. Captain Love, there it is. It's still on demand, and I'm seeing people on Twitter tweeting it because he's already got the book. So if you have a few extra shekels, he is proven, he is fulfilling, he is shipping the books out almost immediately. So matter of fact, if you just bought one, it's probably already in the mail on the way to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's that fast. He can be in 2 or 3 places at the same damn time. But that is okay. Well, all right. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can close out on this one. Here's a controversial one for you guys. What is the movie TV show that everyone hates that you freaking love? The first Michael Bay Transformers movies. Michael Bay did not understand Transformers.
No.
And he admitted that he wasn't a fan. So if you're not a fan, you shouldn't be making it's like you shouldn't be making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You shouldn't be making Transformers. You shouldn't be making these movies because you don't understand what the hell it is. So, so yeah. Oh, hold up. Art is hitting on you. Hold on. Charlie's very charming. Enjoy any stream she is on. Yeah. Stop hitting on her, Art. You have a lovely wife at home. You beautiful family. Stop.
He's lovely though. He's a nice guy. Thank you, Art. That was lovely.
All right. Well, Charlie, how can they reach you? If they want to hit you on social media and all that good stuff, because we're about to get out of here.
Yeah, just on Twitter, Charlie's London. You'll be able to find me. And thank you, Antonio, for having me on. I'm sorry if I was a little bit quiet. I just didn't want to interrupt you, but I'd love to come on. I'd love to come on again if you'll have me on again.
You are definitely welcome back anytime. That is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
But all right, guys, we are getting out of here. Appreciate everybody for hanging out on the Facebook chat, YouTube, Periscope. Nobody watches me on Twitch yet, but subscribe to me on Twitch so I can become an affiliate. Yay! And twitch.com/Akari Press. But as always, catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel everywhere is at Akari Press. You type in AkariPress.com. It takes you to Brand Way of the Gun. We're over $5,000. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. I'll have Kanan on here tomorrow, and he's going to draw horrible brand stuff probably or something. He's going to draw something and talk about the craft, as he always says. And Teespring, Amazon.com. I've got crappy merch, and every little bit helps. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Flat Earth is real.